greet you all with love and light of the Most High God, the Infinite Creator, source of all things, source within. I'm sitting down here and facing the east, well, I say east-south. I like to sit in my room sometime and just, you know, open up the blinds, as you see, and just enjoy the sunlight coming in, you know, hitting me right here. You know, a lot of times you don't have to stare directly at the sun. You can just close your eyes and just let the sunlight hit you right here, you know, in between your eyebrows, right here between your eyes, and just, you know, meditate. I think this is also one of the best form of meditation, you know, just facing the sun, you know, kind of look at it a little bit blank, but close your eyes, especially if you know, in the house or whatever. Close your eyes and just be facing it, right here by the window. Just face it and let that light hit you. Just let it hit you, and just meditate. Set your attention first and just meditate. Some of the things that I have noticed when I started practicing sun gazing, family, when I would close, like once I look at the sun a little bit, you know, look at it a little bit and close my eyes, you know, I've mentioned this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I would definitely notice beautiful colors, okay, from violet, orange, pink, and in the center it will be violet or green. It will be different every time. And then I will also notice what looks like beings. Yeah, I said beings. I will also notice what look like beings that will appear to me sort of humanoid form looking, but the colors are solid, bold colors. You know, I might see one might appear to me while my eyes are closed in a bold green, you know, like a beautiful emerald green, and it will look sort of human looking, but I can't see the facial features. All I see is the head, and the bottom part is as though you would think they were wearing some kind of gown, but you don't see the gown. The point I'm trying to make is, you know, I would just see their form, you know, like I see the head and then I see the body, but I don't actually see, you know, the actual clothes or anything. I hope that makes sense to many of you. My daughter, her little stand is right here where she plays. I was trying to see, does she have a marker over here? I can give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Hold on, family. Alright, family, I apologize. Normally I don't like to pause when I do my videos, but I wanted to draw these three figures real quick to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. I'm not the best artist, alright, when it comes to drawing, but you still will get a better understanding what your sister's talking about. And like I was saying, is I like to, you know, during the early phase of me sun gazing, alright. And I was telling many of you, you know, not only will I see colors, but what I haven't been telling you is sometimes I would see beings, and they would show up like in bold colors. I might start out seeing one, and that looks violet, and then it'll switch up, and then I would see one that would look blue, and I would see one that looks green, and sometimes I might see two together, and then one would disappear, and I would see one, but they would look sort of humanoid looking, but I just can't see their features that good because they're full of light, but they are a specific color. So let me just share this with you real quick, family, to help you better understand what your sister's talking about. I don't know if many of you been noticing this when you know, sun gaze a little bit, you close your eyes, and you know, you are, you know, focus on the images that you're seeing, all right? But these are actually beings, family, because my higher self, I received confirmation. My higher self let me know right here. Many of you can see. this right here, I always see one like that looks like this, sort of valid looking, like this the body, and I will see the head and the neck, and this one right here will be blue, just solid blue looking, and I will see the head, I mean the neck and the head, and then I would see one that looks very green, like a dark emerald green, and it would look just like this. Sometimes I would see two together, but they would look just like this, family. I hope many of you can see it. This light is blocking my view, but I would see something that would look like this. And not only would I see it when my eyes are closed, if I'm inside my home, as you see, I'm staring at the sun now, looking out the window, but I will also see if I'm outside walking, out in nature, and I will look up at the sun, and I am staring at it for quite some time. The sun is like a, the sun, the image of it looks sort of round, right? So of course, when you take your eyes off the sun, you're gonna see like shades of like dark shaded balls looking, okay? But I noticed I started seeing an image coming from the sun that looks like tall giant beings that looks like this. Only difference is I wasn't seeing the color. They looked real shaded looking. It's hard for me to really to break it down, describe what I'm actually seeing. But I would see something similar to this right here outside, actually looking at the sun. And when I see it, it seemed like the image would come from the sun, from the sunlight, and it just be huge in the sky. They're like tall giant beings, It's just hard for me to describe. I'm sure many of you, have had your own experiences with the sun. But let me just say that I said it before, and I'm going to say it again, all right? I know the words are going to come out of my mouth going to sound strange to many of you, and that's okay. Like I said, after have my spiritual awakening and seeing through my third eye, and then after that, and then further down the road, and after that having a kundalini, your sister's life has not been the same, period. And I mean no disrespect, but it is so hard for me to try to speak with someone who is there in the box. But little do they know, when they third eye become active, all right, they will actually get what the sister is saying. They will actually get what I'm saying. Only many of you who third eye is active, you get what I'm saying. A lot of your experiences, I can't even relate, because I haven't seen the things that many of you have seen, but I know what I've seen. And I know what I experienced as well. But let me say this: when it comes to the sun, there are beings that live within the sun. I mentioned this at least 2 or 3 times since I've been doing these videos, all right? And I wouldn't get too many feedback, and it's okay, because I know that sounds very far-fetched. This is something that I would have never ever believed, before I came into, into this awakening. I would have never believed anything like that, because all I know is what I feel. I feel heat. I'm right here, and I feel heat, coming off this glass, from the sun. I feel heat, and when I look at the sun, not only do I feel the heat, it's very bright. And the only thought I think of is hot. How can something exist living within the sun? But yes, beloved, yes, family, there is life I'm not gonna say on, but in the sun. I'm gonna say it like that. Our perception of how we view the sun is because we're just limited due to, for one thing, it's due to frequency. Frequency is everything, and then you're with dimensions. If you're not matching that, a certain frequency, you're not going to be able to experience a certain dimension, period. And another thing, we also are limited also because we are spiritual beings, and we are confined within this flesh, shall I say, within these containers. So that limits us as well, okay? But many of you know, just like I know, when you go to sleep or when you meditate, you can go anywhere. Everything is pretty much as a thought, you know. Especially if you're someone that's highly conscious, you know, you can wake up within during your sleep time to where you are really, really conscious of your experiences. You know, you're conscious of your dreams, and you can control your dreams, you know, to where you're going to allow your dreams to work for you, you know, as well as while you're in meditation. There's definitely power when we dream, you know, if you know how to get control of your fears, for one thing, and realize you are dreaming and learn to manipulate your dream. You know, a lot of that is within, so without, a lot of that was a goal in our dreams, you know, a lot of it, you know, are our guides, you know, or our angels trying to help us, but they show us images during our sleep state, and they also show you where you are. You know, that's why a lot of times many of you might be experiencing, you know, night terrors, or you're going through something out here in this realm. A lot of times you're dealing with spiritual warfare within yourself as well. But I don't mean to jump the gun. I'm just saying these are things I have learned for myself, because I too have experienced spiritual warfare. I too have had dark night of the soul, you know. But getting back to the sun, due to the fact I'm able to communicate with due to the fact that I'm able to communicate with my higher self, there are dimensions within dimensions, and there is life within the sun. And, you know, also the sun is the sun is also a portal as well. All right. Many of the advanced ETs, they use the sun not only for power source to power their light ships, but as well they are so highly evolved and advanced that they also utilize the sun as a portal and gateway as well. And I found this out through meditation, because a while back during the early phase of my third eye being awakened, I kept dreaming about pyramids. I even had dreams. I'm not going to say dreams, but when I meditate, I'm not going to say dreams, I'm going to say when I'm in meditation. When I be in meditation, just like a while back, I will also visualize, and I would see this as a vision. I would visualize seeing pyramids in the sky flying. I didn't know what that meant. You know, it sounded very strange to me, pyramids in the sky flying. I would see them actually above the clouds just flying, and they would land on the ground, you know. And this is actually, you know, something that has actually happened. Now, where exactly where? I'm assuming on another planet. I'm not going to say Egypt, Kemet. I'm not going to say all that. I'm picking up another planet somewhere. But I was actually visualizing pyramids flying in the sky, you know, as light ships as well. But their design were like pyramids, you know. But anyway, getting back to pyramids, family. I also came to information that back in the day, pyramids had a gold. It's like a lot of information was coming to me last night, and I knew the name of these things and everything. But right now, I kind of had like a brain freeze moment. But let me see if I can just give you I can't really give you an example because I don't even have the right color for it. But if you can imagine a pyramid, like for instance the one that's in Egypt, right? And if you can imagine the top of it, the pointed top of it being overlaid with gold, just the top part of it. It was a name for that, but there was a time that pyramids had gold tips to them, all right? I saw this also when I was in meditation. And also beam of light would shoot out from the top of the pyramids, all right? Ancient beings that were here, if you're going to call them the Anunnaki or whatever, they were basically ancient beings that was ruling back then, shall I say. And there was also gold overlay that was around the tip of the pyramids. Now, the point I'm trying to make is they were also using pyramids for to transport. That's the only way I can describe it. Transport. I keep getting transport. the pyramids were also used as a power source and also to transport. That's the only information I'm getting right now. But there were times that I would be meditating, family, and I would, for some reason, my essence was like, I ain't gonna say my essence, but I would visualize myself while I'm in meditation. I don't know why, but I would pick up this image of me moving towards a pyramid, right? And I would see it overlaid with gold on the top, now not the bottom, but on the top. I don't know how many inches on the top, but just overlaid with gold going around, like on the tip. And on the top, I would see light, like a light beam shooting out of the pyramids, right? So I would, in my meditative state, I would see myself moving towards the pyramid, right? And for some reason, I was fascinated with that light. So I would see myself moving over the pyramid and looking down into that light. And when I look down into that light, it's like the light just sucked my essence, and I was just going through lights. Sort of remind you of like going through a portal, you know, like light just flashing from the right, flashing from the left and stuff. And but I remember this. I remember it very vividly, and it seemed like from there, it's like, I don't know, it's like things start escalating in my spiritual awakening. Things just really start escalating. But I remember seeing this image of a pyramid that was overlaid with gold on the tip and light, and there was light shooting out from the top. And my understanding of what my higher self was trying to tell me, that they were using these pyramids as transporters. That's the only way I can describe it. I guess from the transport from one star system to the next, wherever they wanted to go, you know. So that's the information I was receiving from within myself, you know. But these pyramids are all over the world, family. They are within our oceans. You know, it just, the ocean hasn't spit. I call it spit them out. Our ocean has not spit them out, as far as, you know, the ground has not shifted to where, you know, the pyramids are showing up. But there are a lot of pyramids that are showing up, you know, but for some reason, you know, they're not talking about it. You know, that's our government for you, you know, our military for you. They'd rather be the first one on the scene to investigate these pyramids, to get the goods, find out. Alright, family, I had to make this like a part to add on. My phone shut off on me. I hate when it does that when I'm trying to speak on certain things, you know, but weird things happen like that. You get on certain topics, but I'm not gonna dive too much into that, because it's not like I know a whole lot about that. I pretty much just want to just speak on what I do know, as far as what I have sensed from within. But like I was saying, get back to the pyramids. There are many of them. There are within the ocean, you know, and as well as under the sea. And by and by, they will start to show up, you know, due to the changes in the earth, you know, the shifting in the, you know, the shifting with the earth, you know, it can cause the landmass to shift to where these so-called ancient pyramids will start to rise. All right, that's the point I was trying to make. And I also was saying how there are actually that have they have appeared out of the water, right? I've sensed this like a while back, that some have actually appeared, but like I said, it's who control the media. They're not talking about it for the most part, you know. Our government officials, those who are in the need to know, I call them the shadow government, the ones pretty much dealing with the military, shall I say. They're going to make sure that they check out these so-called ancient sites. They're going to make sure they be the first ones to check them out, to make sure, you know, whatever findings they find, if it's anything that, shall I say, that has to do with, as far as them finding like ancient weaponry, shall I say, you know, a lot of things that have been left behind, any kind of ancient artifacts, just things that, you know, it's okay for them to know, but not for us you know, not for the people to know. They're gonna keep this stuff hidden, all right? Whether it's due to, like I said, ancient weaponry or just ancient artifacts. They're gonna hold on to these. They're gonna hold on to these findings for themselves. All right, they're not gonna, they're not trying to share this stuff with us. Okay, that's just the way it is. The only way you would know the words come out of my mouth is if many of you start to meditate and you are highly advanced with your meditation to where you can because many of you know, like I know, wherever your thought is, that's where you are immediately. I suggest many of you to meditate on pyramids. Sometimes you don't have to. You don't have to be your attentions to meditate on pyramids. Sometimes you just happen to see them. When you go within yourself, because like I said, we all go back. We all have past lives, and a lot of this is pretty much us remembering, certain things that has happened, eons ago, but and we are awakening to this truth because we are starting to remember certain things that has happened, But I'm just sharing this with many of you, family. But for the most part, when these pyramids start to appear, they're not going to tell us. They're not. They really are not. There are islands now that are they're falling within the ocean, and they don't talk about this kind of stuff. They don't. It's a lot of islands. They disappear all the time, and they don't talk about this stuff. The only way you would know, unless you're in a plane or whatever, and you know about certain islands, their location, and you happen to be up in the air flying around, and you notice the island's not there no more in that certain location. You all do y'all little Google map, and try to find certain islands location. For the most part, I doubt they will show it. They probably won't even change Google to where you can't see the changes, because they can't do that. They'll still have it looking the same way as it always been looking, and they won't show the actual update of that land mass, shall I say. So yeah. But anyway, and this is also going on in Antarctica as well. There's a lot of pyramids, ancient pyramids popping up big time, and they're finding a whole lot of things, inside of these ancient pyramids. But you think we're going to know about it? No, nada. The only way you're going to know unless you're able to go through yourself and master yourself as far as navigating and setting your attention that you want the truth, and ask your higher self to reveal things to you when you go within yourself. And if many of you can communicate with your higher self, you can ask your higher self some of these questions. Are pyramids popping up? And many of you know this already. It's a lot of dark web around here to where the people are actually getting pictures and images of these so-called pyramids that are popping up, especially in Antarctica. So you'd be surprised, people who are in the know, that work for the military and all of that. They are, taking pictures and all of that, and they trying to get them out. And for the most part, they do get out. But like I said, the powers that be, they shut a lot of stuff down. People trying to expose. They shut a lot of stuff down. But anyway, I don't really want to get too deep. Speaking on a whole lot of stuff that maybe I shouldn't be speaking about. But a lot of stuff I'm speaking about, many of you know already. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say this for many of you who sun gaze, all right? Sun gazing is very important. Sun gaze help to awaken your DNA, all right? For one thing, you're receiving those light codes. Like I said, the sun is very intelligent. It truly is, a portal in itself, all right? And all kind of information is coming through the sun. As far as when you stare at the sun, at the light, like I said, you're receiving messages, light codes, and many of you are going to start seeing light languages. Like I am. I'm starting to see light languages now, because I've been sun gazing for quite some time. It's been 4 years now since I've been sun gazing. And my eyes are just fine. Do I have glasses? Yes, I do. I just use them for reading. But I was needing glasses way before I was sun gazing. But I do know my eyes have improved to where I don't even hardly use my glasses that much. But it hasn't damaged my eyes. I can really sun gaze anytime, to tell you the truth, because I have adjusted to it. But I don't just constantly stare at the sun. I just do it for good you know, 5 or 10 minutes, you know, just get that sunlight in me, bam, I'm good to go, you know. And I definitely love to sun gaze and meditate. That is the best experience ever. Get out and sun gaze a little bit and come back in and meditate, family. You'd be surprised how it affects your pineal gland. You know, it helps stimulates it. And like I said, for those of you who their eye is awakened, you will notice the changes. You will definitely notice the changes. You know, when you're going through yourself, you're meditating. Like I said, many people start seeing images, colors, and like I said, what you see is going to be your truth. I know my truth, but what many of you are going to start seeing is going to be your truth, all right? Only you can tell it the way you can tell it. But, yeah, family, that's why they're blocking the sun, all right? You know, the sun is very powerful, it's very intelligent, and it is so good for us, you know, the light from the sun, because this is the actual, you know, light that we are supposed to be receiving going into our being, you know. Just these false lights like the TVs and, you know, our phones, our laptops, you know, the street lights, all this stuff, this is false lights, you know what I'm saying? But the sunlight, you know, the sunlight is what help healing our DNA. You know, it's awakening that what they could say is junk DNA. The sunlight is awakening big time. I know it has definitely awakened minds, all right? I'm definitely like a whole another creature, shall I say. I'm not the same no more, and I definitely try to sun gaze daily as much as I can. You'd be surprised the more you sun gaze, eventually, you know, you're going to start noticing a phenomenon that's known as a light that's within you. Just like we had a sun out there, I see everything as in threes. We have a sun that's out there outside this earthly realm, and we have a sun that is within the earth, and we also have a sun that is within us, all right? As within, so without. Out there, all right, above our earthly realm, we have a sun out there. We also have a sun that is within the earth. As above, so below, okay? So below within the earth, as well as above within us as well, okay? There's a light within us as well as above the earth. I see my light all the time. Even when it's cloudy outside and it's raining, I can come here and meditate, and I don't really have to think about the sun, but all of a sudden I start seeing this round light that is within me, and it looks sort of goldish looking, but that's my inner sun that's within me. Just like we have the universe that is within us, the sun is within us as well, family. So I'm not really dropping no jewels to me if you don't know. But like I said, as you keep seeking, so shall you find. I only speak my truth, my testimony. This light that I see, it is within me, and it is within all of us. But for whatever reason, you know, many of you are going to have to start seeking, so shall you find. Seek and search for that inner light that is within you, all right? Because we all come from source. But like I said, you know, for those of you whose third eye is not awakening, still, you know, it really helps to sun gaze a little bit, all right? Don't abuse your eyes. You know, it don't take much, all right? Just a couple of minutes starting off, you know. But afterwards, come in and close your eyes and visualize the sun, all right? Practice make perfect. Practice make perfect. Just keep doing it a couple of times, and eventually you're going to start seeing like a round ball light. It might be in the distance, but that's okay as long as you see it. And, you know, it's gonna look, I know for me it looks sort of yellowish gold looking. That's your inner sun that's within you, all right? That's your inner sun that's within you. You got to start somewhere, family. And not only does mine be yellowish gold, sometimes mine change colors. It might be a green, it might be an orange and pink, and I might see violet in the center. You know, mine is constantly shifting, you know, just like I see within me. But it's in with all of us, family, all right? Like I said, the sun is very intelligent. I appreciate the sun very much. There are beings that are within the sun. They are trying to communicate. Always leave yourself open that you want to communicate. Because if you don't, for the most part, you know, and maybe many of you are seeing things you don't really know what you're seeing, you know. But many of you are seeing the things that I have been seeing that looks like this. They are definitely trying to communicate with you, all right? They are definitely trying to communicate with you. You might see one. All right, you might see one, and that's okay if you see one. But the more, you know, you look a little bit, like how I'm doing, and close your eyes. You know, hit me up down there. Hit me up what many of you are seeing. If you're not seeing that, if you're not seeing that image right there, some of you might be seeing light codes, you know, like little swervy, you know, symbols. It's sort of like a backwards U or a weird S looking. These are light languages, family. These are light languages. And if you don't know what light languages is, Google it, all right? Google Google it, or just type light language in on YouTube. There are people, you know, they're channelers, and they actually write down light languages, all right? But anyway, that's all I want to say, family. I love you in Christ. I thank you for checking your sister out. And you know, not only had I come into my spiritual awakening 4 years ago, but I have definitely been sun gazing for the same length amount of time. So the sun is good for you. It's not going to hurt you. Many people are ignorant due to they abuse their eyes and they stare at the sun too long. Do not start off staring at the sun too long. All right? Protect your eyes. Just like I said, a couple of minutes, you know, every day is enough. Something is better than nothing. But the main thing, make an effort. After sun gazing for a little bit, like I said, don't go past 3 minutes, just a little bit. Look up at it, blink a little bit, and try to gaze your stare at the light that's coming down, you know, and stare at it. Sometimes I see symbols in that light, you know. But anyway, I don't know what you're going to see, but what you're going to see, it's for you to see, all right? Much love and light and abundance to my kings and queens. Thank you for checking your sister out. And don't forget, for 30 days, as the 26th of this month, I am doing spiritual chart readings as well as relationship readings. And the prices are different, but for 30 days, I will be doing either or, all right? Spiritual chart readings or relationship readings for $20, all right? So for those who are seeking social you find, hit your sister up. Email me first if you're interested. If you're interested in the when this video ends, the link will be for many of you to hit your sister up, all right? And I would definitely get those readings to you, okay, family? And thank you for watching. And keep looking up, family. Keep looking up. Keep sun gazing and keep meditating, because the answers are within you. The kingdom is within you. The light, the sun is within you. Peace.